Good evening, Flosstube. It is Mandy coming to you with another update. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. Today is Friday, November 6th, and the weekend is here. And this weekend is a 24-hour marathon of cross stitch hosted by Jen Lee at Quirks and Stitches. I will link her channel below. Actually, I think on Flosstube she's Jen Lee, and it's YouTube. I'm sorry, it's on Instagram that she's Quirks and Stitches. But she also has a Facebook group of, I think it's hashtag 24 hours of cross stitch. And so basically the concept, I know when she started it, it was basically to stitch for 24 hours straight. But she has since changed it to basically just being a stitch 24 hours out of 48, or maybe, no, actually out of the whole weekend. So the 3 days for the weekend. Who knows if I'll actually be able to get to stitching the full 24 hours. It's a lofty goal, but while I stitch a lot, it's hard for me to keep track of the timing, so I don't know that I necessarily always get 24 hours in that time frame. But definitely looking forward to it. I do plan on doing all kinds of stitching this evening, and then tomorrow I will be getting together with my mom, sister, and a couple of other gals, and we're gonna have lunch and stitch and have some fun. So it's been a long time since we've all been able to get together, and so we're gonna get together and get some stitching done. So this will probably be a fairly quick video tonight. I have just got a few whips to show you. No shopping haul. Maybe I'll touch base a little bit on some plans, but nothing too serious. Because we all know that I am, if you've been a returning viewer, then you know that I'm pushing my way to get through a finish of my first Heaven and Earth design. So speaking of, if you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking me out. I do greatly appreciate it. I know I've gotten some recent new subscribers and everything, so I really appreciate you checking me out and sticking around. And thank you for those returning viewers. Really appreciate all of your support. So as you probably can tell from my from the title of the video, you know exactly what I'm about to show. I have made the final move of my Q-snap for my eagles. Very, very exciting times. So last weekend, I know when I posted my video, I mentioned that because of the page being so confetti heavy, that I just wasn't going to be able to get it finished, you know, to the 2 weeks to the day, because the last couple pages I had said that I was able to get them finished 2 weeks to the day, and I figured that that page I was currently working on was going to be too confetti heavy, that I just wouldn't get it done. Yeah, I ended up stitching all day long. Pretty sure I got over 1,000 stitches done. I worked through the time change. I stayed up late that night, and I got that page finished. So I am going to be showing a full piece, or the picture, the stock photo. This is Together We Stand, artwork by Jody Bergsma and charted by Heaven and Earth. And then I will be also showing the full picture of the piece, the stitched piece off of the Q-snap. If you look up now, I will be including that picture. If you're stitching, look up. This is the full piece. This is 47 pages completed out of 49, and I have made the last Q-snap move, like I said. I am able to, because that 49th page is just maybe 20 stitches wide, I'm just going to stitch them all together. That last row of pages, so it's 7 pages wide, and so pages 6 and 7 are, well, because 7 is so small, I'm able to combine those together. And because I used an 11-inch Q-snap, it fits perfectly to be able to do everything all at once. This is stitched on a piece of 16 count white Aida, 2 strands full cross. And this is difficult for me to hold, as you've seen in past videos. There we go. So, finished page 47, started on page 48, and working away. So I haven't quite gotten down to the bottom of the page yet, but I'm going to be stitching a bunch tonight, so that very possibly could happen again tonight. I'm not sure. I am just absolutely loving all of the detail out of this piece. It's stunning. The layers of detail is just amazing, because when you look at that red patch down there below the wings, you know, from the flag kind of coming through, just how much detail is coming out of it. So I'm loving it. So when I did the math, man, that thing is getting heavy. When I did the math after finishing that page 47, it left just over 5,900 stitches remaining out of the entire piece. So out of the 213,000 total stitches. So I'm obsessed with that piece and I'm loving it, and I can't wait to get it finished. So the other pieces that I worked on this week, so I'm in a Facebook group for Michigan Stitchers. I think the title of the group is just Michigan Cross Stitch. And haven't had a whole lot of activity in there, but they recently started doing some challenges, their own version of the different challenges. And so I figured, why not? This week's challenges were, or prompts, I guess, were pretty easy stuff that fit perfectly into what I was working on. So I went ahead and started working on those. So the next piece I'm going to show is Sugar Skull. It's done on a pillow. Artwork is by Brianne Jackson, and it was published in 2016, just cross stitch. You've seen it before. It's just stitched all in black. And so the prompt that I used this one for was closest to a finish. And so, because obviously I work on such massive pieces, this was probably one of the smaller ones that I could find that was close to a finish. So when I picked it up, I finished one of the eyes, and then went ahead and started working up into some of this stuff right up in here. This one is stitched on a piece of 16 count Picture This Plus in Monster Mash. Make sure I want to hold it up to you correctly. It's not at a point where I can easily tell at the moment, but here we go. And that's pretty true to color in terms of the material. It is a bright one. So, all stitched in black, just DMC 310. And like I said, so it was this eye that I had to finish the inner portion of it, and then the whole thing here, and then I did all of this work right around here and doing those things there. So I did get the, so the prompt was for 300, up to 300 stitches on the piece that was closest to a finish. So obviously I'm not finishing it quite yet, but that is my 300 stitches needed for that prompt. And this is such a fun piece of material. And yes, it is quite bright. And then the next one that I'm going to show, I actually did this, so one of the prompts was, again for the Michigan Challenge, was to stitch on something with leaves, and then the other one was to stitch on a piece with a pet. And so I got the portion with the leaves, and then I started doing the portion for a pet, and so I'll be finishing that up tonight. But this is Boo Friends by Diane Arthur, published by Imaginating. I love this chart. You have seen it before if you've been here. So this past week I did some of the brown in here for this fence. I did the whole sign, the white portion with the orange ampersand. I did not finish out the whole post. When you saw it last, I had started I did most of the back stitching for this cat. I think you saw this whole thing done. I just didn't do the back stitching on this portion yet. So I think it's just the brown for the fence, started the cat, and doing the sign. So, and obviously doing the piece for the cat, since I got a black cat. And then you can see that it's got leaves here. This is stitched on a piece of white Aida 16 count. And there we go. So haven't done the back stitching on the sign yet, but you can definitely see that the white stitches are all done there. And then started in on the cat. So I'm gonna have to reposition when I'm ready to do some back stitching. I put it up too high for doing that part of it, but I definitely want to keep doing the back stitching so that I don't have to get down to the end and have no, no other stitching, and all I have left to do is back stitching, because leaving back stitching to the very last can be a pain. So that's really all I have left to show. Like I said, this is a pretty quick one. So plans, immediate future, I'm going to be finishing the prompts for the stitching something with a pet. So I'll be, right now, once I get this thing uploaded, I'm going to get back to finishing that. And then I know I will be getting back to my eagles tonight. So tomorrow I'm planning on taking the eagles to stitch while hanging out with the stitching gals. Beyond that, I don't have anything set planned. I do want to start that, I know I mentioned it last week, for the Magazine Monthly Challenge. I am doing the piece that says the best is yet to come. Haven't picked out fabric yet. I'm thinking, because of the colors of the floss that I chose for it, that I just might cut a piece of white material and go that way. And I think that piece might be, I think I mentioned last week that it'd probably be small enough to fit into my stitching journal. So I'll probably just select white fabric for that. No further updates yet on the journal. I have not gone back to Michael's or anything yet to see if I can find anything decorative for the cover, like I said that I wanted to. And so I haven't done anything further with like any of the pages or anything yet either. So my focus has definitely been on those eagles. I'm getting so close to that finish line that it's hard for me to pick anything else up at the moment. So yeah, life update. Nothing a whole lot new. Stitching, working. It's looking at this point, I mean, we're settled in for the long haul of working from home, which I'm very thankful that we have the option to do so. There's absolutely zero talks of us going back to the office at this time. Last I knew is the manufacturer is not sending their main employees back to their offices at least until late June of 2021, if it's something that they can work from home for. If they can't do their job working from home, I think they've been returned back to work. But if you can do your job at home, that's where it's to be done at. So luckily my direct employers have got us set up at home, and I'm very thankful for that. And so I have a table set up in my living room that I have my computer set up on. I get the fresh air out of the my sliding door if it's nice enough. This week has been great weather, so there's been a couple days that I actually opened that up. I at least get the sunshine coming in on the cooler days. So, and of course I get to hang out with Stitches all day. So, of course she does a lot of napping while I'm working away. I mean, she's a cat. What do you expect? So. Beautiful sunset out the sliding door at the moment, so wish there was an easy way for me to show that, but I love the sunsets in Michigan. So, alright, well, I think that's gonna be about it. If I don't cut this off now, then I'm probably just gonna end up sitting here rattling on over nonsense, and I know people don't necessarily want to hear that, so I hope everyone has a great stitching weekend, and if you're participating in the 24 hours of cross stitch, then good luck and keep stitching. So I will talk to you guys next week. Take care.